All right, all right. Well, thank you guys, everyone, for coming in tonight. I know for a few of you is a short last minute notice, so I really, really appreciate you guys' support. These are my girlies. Come over here. They wanted to say hi. You can sit over here. And we got a Sharky over here. It's only two of my three preciosas. I'm hosting this tonight with the help of beautiful Maria Lupita here. I'm just super, super excited. This is a beginning a new journey for me. As most of you guys know, the economy is growing and changing, and I always want to keep making sure I can keep investing into their homeschooling and any future therapies as a family of special needs. So that's, the goals over here. And this opportunity, this vehicle, honestly, really caught my attention just because I feel like it draws to my passions of helping others, helping families, especially with special needs or business owners and anyone else. And I'm just really excited that you guys get to tune in. Oh, gracias por los corazones. And just, to keep respectful of your guys. Sorry, pardon my daughter's sick. Respectful of your guys' time and also of Maria's time. We're going to keep this really brief to the point, and if you're happy to stay on camera, we'd love to see your faces and see the interactions. And mostly, most important, I just want to say she is a super amazing coach who has a lot of knowledge when it comes to growing online businesses, especially on TikTok. Y para las Latinas, she is definitely 100% devoted to helping even more so promoting in our comunidades. Oh, aquí llegó mi otra preciosa my youngest. Let's see. Oh, no se ve. But aquí está. And yeah, just consider her the hot tia with all the business tips. And I'm your bestie bringing you more benefits to your life. And I hope that this will benefit you, if not someone else that you know. So yeah, Maria, please go ahead and lead us into this.
Well, thank you so much, Becky. And as you know, this is a great honor for me. I think Becky is a total rock star, but I'm sure all of you guys already know that. So today, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be going over all the information that she learned about what we do and how we do it and why we do it. And one of the reasons for why I'm so excited for all of you to be watching this is because one of the things that got my attention about this is that I was doing digital marketing, buying courses and selling digital courses on social media, and I did really well. But I was practically unemployed the minute that I sold something. Very much similar to someone who has a job. I just didn't have a job. I was self-employed, and I was happily self-employed, except that every time I made a sale, I was unemployed all over again. So even though I love that space, I wanted to have more peace of mind. I wanted to have more recurring income, more residual income, more passive income, and also to have it with something that was stable. So today I'm going to be sharing with you the membership that pays. And I'm also going to be sharing with you why it is so easy here, not an overnight sensation. You're not going to come here and overnight, some people do it overnight, but the majority of people don't do it overnight. But there is a way. There's a real blueprint that you can make $120,000 with passive and residual income plus daily deposits. So we're going to be talking about all of that. One thing I do ask you, I just out of respect to Becky, so that you get to see what this is all about. And this may not be for you at all. You may not want legal protection. You may not want identity protection. You may not want data protection, but you definitely want to see what Becky is all about. That way you can send her referrals so that you can be part of how she's growing this so that she can support her girls and her family with her, not only just being a stay-at-home mom, but being a stay-at-home mom with special needs kids. So that is super powerful when you are here to support other moms being powerful in their own essence. So what we're going to be doing is that I'm going to be sharing with you why this project is such a big deal, especially with the economy, especially with everything else that is going on. Without getting into politics, if you look like me or if you look like Becky, if you were to be pulled over by an officer and the officer has a reason to believe that you should be taken in, then it is beautiful to know that you have an attorney that you can call on the spot by just clicking a button, very similar to ordering an Uber or anything like that. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to have a Q&A at the end. And then I ask that all of you stay muted until the end. And for those of you who can, please stay on camera because it brings me much more energy. So it just makes it easier for me to thrive off of you. And I love seeing the beautiful smiles like Becky. Now, what I consider the rich life is when we get to work from home, when we get to call our own shots, when we get to have stability and security, passive residual income, and that people that they don't want to drive to work anymore. And many of you and many of Becky's friends may not be the ones that you're driving to work, but many people that are going to listen to what Becky is sharing, there are going to be some that are having to drive to work, and this gives them the permission to not have to do that and to be in control of their schedule. And this is something that you can do spare time, part-time, sometime, and it's made so that people can do a little bit of work, but it's income producing activity that is going to produce the income so that eventually you can either choose to leave the work that you're doing, or you can choose to actually, to choose to leave the work that you're doing, or like some of the single parents that we have, they just want to add more income to their pocketbooks, because right now, I don't know about where you are, but in Orange County right now, that's where I'm coming from. The price of gas is literally nearly $7, and that really impacts your budget. So what we're looking for people that are competitive, hardworking, ambitious, motivated, but also people that are just wanting to be business consultants, business affiliates, and that they are wanting to have more of whatever it is. You can insert more time, more freedom, more income, whatever it is that you want more of. This is something that is going to be able to help any individual that is wanting to have more. And this is especially for people, if you are someone that you hate helping people and you hate making money, then this is not going to be for you. But you probably know someone who loves helping people and loves making more money, then this is definitely someone that you can recommend to Becky, as this is something that we love doing because we love helping people be able to have more access. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Becky, give me 1 second. I'm gonna make you go. I didn't see that we had a guest in the room, so my apologies. I should have everybody already in. So if I missed anybody, my apologies for that. But you should all now be a co-host.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
perfect. So is there a need for people to make extra income? You're probably thinking, you know what, Maria Lupita, I'm fine. I don't need any extra income. Well, when was the last time you looked at a GoFundMe campaign because somebody passed away, somebody was in the hospital, or something happened in somebody's life? Every single day I see a GoFundMe campaign. I mean, people that are celebrities are doing a GoFundMe campaign because they didn't plan for the end of life. They didn't plan for being sick for a number of years. So when people are not planning ahead of time, they don't have residual income, they don't have passive income, they don't have future income, this gets very challenging. Right now, 60% of families are living check to check. 61% of families are in credit card debt. I don't know about you, but I'm one of those. And that's one of the things that attracted me to LegalShield. LegalShield is giving me the power to be able to make more money and get paid every single day so that I can start paying off that credit card debt. 48% of families have no savings, and 60% of families are not on track to have any retirement. So if that's any of you, please drop me in the comments. Don't leave me all by myself, but maybe I'm the only one who's facing any of these challenges. And by the way, it was not because I was just neglectful. It was because all of a sudden my expenses literally double or triple. And then gas, is literally like overnight, everything is going just insane. So this is what I love about this company, that it allows you to be able to create more income and then get it the very next day. We are also in an idea based economy, and 52% of gig workers, they say that they started a side hustle because they needed to make more income to just make ends meet. And la. Okay, perfect. Because they needed to make more money to make ends meet, not because they were, buying red bottom shoes or anything like that. So, how do we help? Does the average person ever need an attorney? Do we really save people money, and do we really give families and business owners peace of mind? Well, let's talk about myself. I normally have this, and we just Becky and I just came back from being out of town for a convention, our company convention, and I was in a car accident, and the young girl that hit me, she was young, she was 22, I think, just graduated college, and we her parents and I agreed that we were not going to file a claim against that because she rear-ended me, and we were not going to file a claim against her insurance or their insurance. But once we made all these agreements, that I went through all this hassle to just accommodate them and accommodate their young daughter so they wouldn't get hit with higher prices. I show up to the body shop, and they they gang up on me, the wife and the husband, and they say, we want to take care of you. We want you to sign this release so that we protect you. I'm like, we didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about this. Like, I'm trying to help you guys. And then she kept trying, and she kept trying to say that it was for my benefit. I'm like, just because I'm being nice, don't think I'm being stupid. So immediately I called my LegalShield attorney, and my LegalShield attorney said, if I was advising them, I would say, of course, have anybody sign this like this, but you should never sign this, and you should never go behind your insurance. So I went ahead and called my insurance, called their insurance, and literally I would have been about $4,000 in the hole had I gone and not listened to my attorney. So having an attorney for anything that happens is a big deal, because sometimes you're signing contracts, you're signing agreements, you're signing over your power, and you have no idea why you're signing off. So you are in the right place right now. If you're thinking about starting a business online, if you're ready to start a business online, or maybe you're an employee like my buddy Tony is a single widower dad, girl dad, who has a full-time job. He also drives Uber, and he does a few other gigs just to make ends meet. Not because he doesn't make a good income, but because the price in California is just crazy, crazy, crazy. So some people may, or maybe you're like my mom and her husband, they needed more write-offs because they still have to pay high taxes even though they're retired. Or maybe you're someone that you just want to leverage more of what you already have. So if you wouldn't mind letting me know which one you would consider yourself more of. Are you 1, 2, 3, or 4? Or some people are, I'm all of the above. I've been thinking, I'm ready, I'm an employee, I'm retired. Maybe you're all of the above, but I would love to have your input. And then the online business, perfect. Thank you, Becky. What I love about the online business space is that it gets rid of a lot of problems that people are facing: having no predictable income, having no recurring income, hustling. Number two, hustling to make sales each and every day or each and every month. Or maybe number three, you are sick and tired of working a 9 to 5 without really having the independence of what you're seeking for. Maybe number four, you want to help more people. Maybe you want to help more people at your church. Maybe you want to donate more to charity. Maybe you want to do more for your own children. I don't know, but a lot of people have this heart and desire to help more people, but they're not in a position to really help because they're not in a financial position to do so. Or maybe you don't want to keep bugging your friends and family. You do have a business, but the only way that you know how to get more clients is how to bugging your friends and family, or the person that is right behind you in line. And we don't do that here. I actually teach you. I teach everybody in my team how to attract people to you. Or maybe you just want more qualified people saying, yes, I want whatever you're having. And that's actually what happens to me. So the world has forever changed. When 2020 happened, people realized that they wanted more income, they wanted more time, they wanted more flexibility, and most importantly, they wanted more independence. So LegalShield, this project, it does exactly that. It does all of the above. It gives you passive income, linear income, residual income, leverage income, and compound income. But a lot of people, they don't realize the power of leverage income. And I'm going to be sharing a little bit of that in just a few minutes. So imagine what it would feel like if all of your expenses were paid for before the next day turned over to the next page, or the next page turned over to the next month. That's what it feels like whenever you are with LegalShield. When you're with LegalShield and you're building your business the way that we teach you how to build this business, you are going to learn to be able to have more peace of mind, because you can drum up more money the very next day, because the company will pay you the very next day for an entire year commission. So here you get to make predictable daily recurring compound revenue, which is not something that you can get anywhere. I was doing, like I said, I was doing digital marketing. I was selling digital products. I sell my own coaching. I have my own coaching program, but that's all linear income. I'm just as good as the next sale. Otherwise, I'm as good as unemployed. So the subscription model is the model that is a $14 trillion industry, and is getting rid of all the problems that people normally face when they're trying to grow a business. And another problem that is significantly decreases the stress is because you can buy things to sell, or you can do a traditional multi-level marketing company where you're buying and selling products. And that's really tough, because if it works, they stop using it. If they don't work, they stop using it. So regardless, they stop using it. So people have a really hard time. And right now, a lot of people are having a really hard time because of the layoffs, because of so many things that are happening with the economy. So this actually does away with that. And then a lot of people want to get into real estate, want to get into Airbnbs. Well, I can tell you that my friends who are in Airbnbs, they are spending an arm and a leg, and it can be profitable, but you have to put in 10, 20, 30, 40, $70,000 before you can see a profit. So memberships is the one thing that is going to help you be able to create a business and be able to captivate a bigger audience without having to be delayed on the delivery of your product. So a done for you membership equals freedom, in my opinion, in the opinion of many people. And freedom is just like what Blockbuster and Netflix experience. When Netflix came to Blockbuster, they literally laugh at their face because they were the big guys. But then now, where's Blockbuster? I don't know if any of you guys are old enough to know what Blockbuster was, but we used to have these big blocks that's how we watch movies. Before, we used to have to call a cab, and it was very expensive, and it took a long time, and there was a lot of places that were not any. Now we just call an Uber, super cheap, very, very, very easy to access. And then Amazon changed the way that we look at how we go shopping. If I want to get something, I order it and it shows up at my door the very next day. Airbnb, same thing. Now everyday people have their own mini hotels. Why? Because everything is getting disrupted. Before, we used to actually buy music, buy CDs. I still have CDs myself, but now we can listen to all of that in an Apple, in the digital format. So why is LegalShield a better way for you to access your rights and to know your rights that you may not even be aware that you have? So what LegalShield does is that it's only available in the United States, Puerto Rico, starting in July, and then also in Canada. We help individuals, families, and business owners, and we help people create the income that we just talked about. Now, you may be thinking, I don't need an attorney. I'm 40 something, I'm 30 something, I'm 20 something, I'm 50 something. I've never needed an attorney. Well, have you ever had a traffic ticket? Have you ever been accused of something at work and you didn't know what your rights were? Have you ever been relieved from a job and you didn't know what your rights were? Maybe you signed a contract and you didn't understand it, and then you ended up like me, that you were going to sign off a lot of money. Or maybe sometimes you said, excuse me, can I talk to your supervisor? And no matter how many supervisors you talk to, like I did with AT&T, to the point that they just kept turning me around in circles, and now they're wanting to charge me $1,400 because one of their employees made a mistake. So guess what I did? I called my attorney and I said, please handle this, and they're handling that for me. So anytime that you think that you don't need an attorney, think about the people that are wealthy. They don't deal with this nonsense. They just have their attorney deal with their nonsense. But the rest of us that are not wealthy, we don't do that because we think that it would be a high price. So Drop a one in the comments if you have auto insurance. And if you don't drop a one in the comments, you're in trouble because that's against the law. So everyone, very good, Becky. Thank you. Drop a two in the comments if you have health insurance. Everyone should have health insurance. Drop a three in the comments. Thank you. Thank you for the participation, Rosie. Drop a three in the comments if you have rental insurance or home insurance. And I can tell you, having rental insurance or home insurance is huge. Very good. Edie. Sorry about that.
Eat Eddie.
Iredi. Okay, got it. And then all of us should have life insurance. If you don't have life insurance, then you should talk to somebody that knows about life insurance because that is huge. But what happens? I used to be in the legal field, and when I was in the legal field, the reason we would get in the legal field, we were in personal injury, was because the auto insurance didn't pay the way that they were supposed to, the health insurance didn't pay the way that they were supposed to, the home insurance didn't pay the way that the way that they were supposed to, and the life insurance didn't pay for the way that's supposed to. So this here is where LegalShield comes in, so that they can fight for you with your health, with your life, with your home, with your rental insurance, anything that happens, to protect your rights, because you only have the rights that you know you have. And then again, when it comes to the stories, let's talk about Carlos. Carlos was in a situation that his son is a CDL driver. I don't know if any of you know any truck drivers, but truck drivers are in a different way that they're being viewed and they're being regulated. So his son got a ticket or something happened within his license that if he didn't take care of it, he could lose his ability to be able to drive, and that's his livelihood. So he got legal shield. He got legal shield for his son, and now his son has peace of mind because now he knows how to be able to do this. Now, the other thing that I love about Carlos' story is that Carlos' story was very big in the crypto industry. And I don't know about you. I don't know if you know any big hitters that are in the crypto industry, but they're like, psh, and then psh, psh, psh. Well, with Carlos, it was the same thing. And when you have a daughter with special needs, with cerebral palsy, and your income is up and down, and you are the sole caretakers of your daughter, it's very expensive to take care of someone like that. So him and his wife realized that they needed to have something that was more solid, more stable, and perhaps a little more boring, right? Because crypto is very exciting, but it's also very emotionally draining when your income goes up and down. So he decided that he was going to look into everything that was available out in the world of making money. And him and his wife decided to do Legal Shield because it was the most stable, because this started back in 1972. It's as old as I am. And Harlan Stonecipher, as you can see that picture right there, that was his car accident. What I'm telling you, he had auto insurance, he had health insurance, but he didn't have legal insurance. So while he was right there in the hospital, he got sued by the lady that hit him. And he was just like, what the heck? I'm in the hospital. It was your fault. And it was known that it was her fault. But even if somebody sues you, even if they're in the wrong, you still have to defend yourself. So he spent thousands of dollars. He won the case, but he still was out of thousands of dollars. So he says, I want to find a way. And he found it out in another country when he wanted to find a way that it was like auto insurance, legal health insurance, and all of that, but for legal protection. So because there was nothing available in the United States, he created this in 1972. So we've been around for 53 years. So this is not a get rich quick, and it was previously known as the prepaid legal services, and thankfully they changed it for a more marketable name, which is Legal Shield today. But it's the most affordable way for people to be able to get access to what most people will not be able to have access to, because most people are not able to have the abilities that we have here with Legal Shield. So much so that Forbes has named us the best service in legal protection in all of the United States. Yahoo, CNBC, Bloomberg, in the BBB. So why do you want to have Legal Shield? Because it's real attorneys, it's real savings, and it's real peace of mind. When people have legal protection, they understand that they're going to be able to have the best attorneys that are going to be in their state, in their city, to be able to have anything done. But a lot of things that people don't understand is that they're going to get a will, a health directive, a power of attorney, and a financial power of attorney for free by just being a member of the Legal Shield program. They're also going to get access to traffic ticket assistance. I'm not promoting that you should get a traffic ticket, but sometimes you just happen to be at the place that a cop needs to give a ticket, and you happen to be the person that they're just going to give the reason for why they're going to pull you over. I think a cop said that there's at least 5 reasons for why anyone at any given time can be pulled over. So if they wanted to pull you over, they can, because they can find at least 5 reasons on an average day if you're driving to pull you over or to arrest you for any reason. So you also, like I said, you also get emergency access to be able that when I was in that car accident, my brain literally froze. So literally all I did is that I called the emergency line, and somebody was able to talk me through what I needed to do, because I have legal protection. I have an attorney in my back pocket at all times. And this is not only just for individuals, this is for families, to protect everyone in the household, because like I said, 7 out of 10 people do not have a will. And I don't know about you, if you've ever dealt with someone who passed away, but when my dad passed away and he was very sick in 2021, he didn't have a will. I mean, he had a holographic will, but not really saying everything that needs to be said in a will. So we were arguing about what needed to happen with his health, because there was a lot of things that were happening. And then after he passed away, he didn't have a trust and he didn't have an official will. He had a holographic will. So my mom ended up in probate for years and had to fight her own children for a house that they didn't really want. They just did it out of, I don't know, um, but it spent thousands of dollars and ended up in probate because my dad didn't refuse to do it the right way. But as you can see, you can protect an entire family for just $37.95 a month. And these are all the things that come with the preferred legal plan. And whether you have an IRS audit, you need civil trial defense, you want to. Unfortunately, I've been divorced twice. And if I had had Legal Shield, because he wasn't fighting, he wanted to divorce me, but he didn't want to file, he didn't want to hire an attorney. He just wanted to go live the life of a single guy, which wasn't okay with me, and it wasn't okay with my church. So I had to hire an attorney, and I had to spend thousands of dollars, even though I wasn't the person that wanted to get divorced. So sometimes life is lifing, and you need to have an attorney on your side. Another thing that I love about this is that we also protect businesses, and businesses are one thing that oftentimes they actually don't get all the protection that they need because it's so expensive. So if you know any business owners, whether they're small business owners, they're restaurant owners, they're drivers, they're CDL drivers, all of those are business owners, I want to think of Becky and recommend them to Becky, because they desperately need our services. As you can see, our services are very affordable. You can get our most inexpensive plan, which is only $49 a month, and you can see everything that we offer. But for a business owner, Mr. Business Owner, if he has employees and he hasn't looked at his HR and everything is for his employees, he's in big trouble. Or because a lawsuit can take his whole business out by just having a lawsuit if he doesn't have something in place. Maybe he has contracts. Maybe he has bills that people have not paid him for, and the attorneys that we have, they will actually go into collections, they will actually do letters, they will actually review contracts. So all of these are critical programs, critical memberships, because if you think about it, you're actually helping Mr. Business or Miss Business Owner, because if they were to hire an attorney, at a minimum in Orange County is $400 to $600 an hour. So you're doing a massive, huge favor. Now, again, when it comes to why do business owners also get Legal Shield as a business? My friend Pashamini, she's a mortgage broker, and somebody refused to pay the amount that they had agreed to pay. And it was a lot of money. It was thousands of dollars. And they just kept dragging their feet and they said, I don't know that we're going to pay that. Just like, you know what? It's okay. I'm just going to have my attorney send a letter. If this is not going to work out, I totally get it. They sent her a deposit the very next day. Why? Because they know that you sound very different. You come from a very different place when you're coming from a place of having an attorney. And then for people that have our membership, like for me and Becky, we both work from home. So we can actually just get the home-based business add-on for only $29.95 for those of us that have the legal protection. And then as I said earlier, we also have ID Shield, which protects your identity and your data, because your legal protection is for your physical being. Your identity protection is for your digital life. Your digital life is, you might think, oh, I don't have a digital life. I'm not even on social media. Well, the IRS, the IRS is on the internet. So your information is in the IRS. Taxes is in all of our lives are digitalized. And a lot of times you'll get a letter from whomever, Chase, um, AT&T, that there was a data breach. Your information is being sold on the dark web. And if you have children, oh my goodness, if you have children, their identity sometimes is being sold so that they can use it for different things for people. The other thing that I love about it is that it's going to monitor the dark web. It's also going to give you a secure VPN. It's also going to give you licensed investigators. So a lot of you might be thinking, wait a second, Maria, my bank gives me credit, credit protection. Well, this one, I promise you and guarantee you that they're not going to give you live private investigators that are licensed, that are actually going to talk to you and want to walk you through anytime that something happens. If you lose your passport, not if you lose your passport, if someone tries to take your identity and use your information to create their own passport, there's all these things that are happening that you don't realize how much of a threat you have because of your digital footprint. And then privacy management, social media reputation. If you are someone that you're still in the employment area, or you are someone that is in the religious area, or you are someone that is in the political area, if you're in any of those, you may not be getting the case that. Yes, exactly. You may not be getting voted to something. You may not be getting a position to a religious position, or your child, a family member may not get the job that they were looking because something out on the social media was out, not even by you, by someone that tagged you on a photo that showed something that you didn't want to have out on the internet. Like someone today said that they were showing on someone, everybody had cigars in a drink. And ID Shield said you may not want to have this out in the public. And then if you have small children, you want to make sure that you know who the sex offenders are in your neighborhood, because you would never want to send your children to somebody's home if they're a sex offender. And you wouldn't know that because a lot of them happen to look really like the nice person, and you don't really ever want to not be in the know. Now, Brian Carruthers is also someone that he has everything that we have. But one of the things that he loves about a program is ID Shield, because he has one children, he has a wife, and for him, it's essential for him to be able to know where these predators are so that he can protect his wife and small children. And you get access to all of this. Oh, what a cutie cat! He wants to see too. So what I love about this is that everything is just as an app. So you get access to everything that you need: an attorney, a private licensed investigator. Everything is just in the click of a button. And then in addition to all of this, the company also gives you additional perks. When you're a member of LegalShield, they're going to give you all these discounts for all these companies. And what my most favorite part about everything that you're here is that I love the fact that we are referral agents. Becky and I happen to be referral agents. And what I love about this, before I go into the referral agency, is that sometimes you might be running your business online, like myself and Becky. And when you're running your business online, this girl here, Camilla, She runs a multi-million dollar business on all social media platforms. But Instagram decided that she had done something inappropriate according to the government, and they took her account down for months. She lost tens of thousands of dollars. So we came in and we sent a letter to Instagram, and boom, she got her account back. So sometimes things that you never think could happen are actually going to happen and are going to help you and protect you. So LegalShield has many ways of making income. Some people like me and Becky, we love building teams because we love leverage income. We love being able to help other people, to help other women, to help other individuals be able to make more income online. Other people like my buddy David, he just wants to work with businesses and he wants to help employees. So whether you want to talk to just business owners, you want to talk to just employees, you want to be like Becky and I, or you want to just help families, you want to just help schools. LegalShield is an opportunity, is a project that can help anyone who's wanting to create more leverage. So as you can see, there's a lot of people that have been successful with this company. I just got to walk on stage 5 times at our convention that Becky and I were at, because I became one in 5.5 months I became an executive director, which means that I went from making $80 per referral. Listen to this, $80 per referral, and now if I refer a business, I get almost $1,000 per referral just overnight, because I just continued doing what the company said that I could do. And then the company also has a program that the more people that you recommend to the company, the more compensation the more compensation that the company is going to give you. We are looking for people from all walks of life, whether you are a Gen Z, whether you're a millennial like Becky, whether you're like me, a Gen Xer. Um, every single person here can win if they just do very simple work. And it's better for you to understand that this is not a new company that just got started. So they already have over 300 millionaires, 400 six-figure income earners, 30,000 people receiving residual income, and over $1 billion paid in commissions. And as you can see, memberships are everywhere. Subscriptions are everywhere. So if you have not thought about why you shouldn't have your own market share in the subscription industry, you have to think twice. Or if you know someone who is wanting to make more income, I've been looking for something like this since 2005, but it had never been as available and as lucrative as it is with LegalShield. As you can see, imagine if you just had a sliver of 200 members, 200 million members, 300 million members with Netflix, but you're actually impacting people's livelihood, because if you can protect them, you can actually give them a better life. So Amazon Prime is not giving you a cut. Netflix is not giving you a cut. Costco is not giving you a cut. None of these people are giving you a cut. But LegalShield is the only membership that actually does profit sharing. And what we do is just simply refer a friend. So while Netflix is not paying you to go and refer a friend and become a referral agent, LegalShield actually pays for people to become members. And we have I think it's over 4 million members. I think we have over 4 million members, not 1 million members. And it keeps growing. And as we expand over to Puerto Rico, and as we expand over to Puerto Rico, this actually is going to expand more, because this is the first year they're actually putting a lot of time into the Spanish-speaking market, including going into Puerto Rico. So as I mentioned to you earlier, this is how the company pays. So when you first get started, the company is just going to pay you $80 for the first 3 people that you recommend into the membership. And as you recommend more people, the company is going to reward you more and more and more and more. And as by the same token, the company also rewards your efforts when you also tell business owners about this. So a minute ago, I shared with you that I went from making $80 to $1,000. Well, because now if I refer a business owner to the $169 plan, I get over $1,000 with just one recommendation, and that's deposited into my bank account the very next day. So it doesn't happen overnight. For some people, it has happened. But what if it happens in 6 months? Like it did for me. What if it happens in a year? What if it happens in 5 years? That's a lot more than most people see. So how do you go about making $1,000 in 24 hours? You just simply recommend 3 people to the membership, which is the $37 program, and the ID Shield, which is about $73 a month. And then when they do that, and you decide to go through a training, the company is going to give you an additional $200 bonus by just simply attending a training. And then when you refer 2 more people to the Legal Shield into the ID Shield program, then the company is going to give you an additional $200. But once you do all of that, when you refer 3 people and then 2 people, the company is actually going to reward you an additional bonus of $400. So when you add it all up, it's over $1,000 by just simply recommending 3 people and then 2 people. And that is how we help people make $1,000 in 24 hours. Now, how do we go about making, because I did tell you that I was going to show you how do you go about making $120,000. The kitty says, I want to watch. How do we go about making $120,000? Well, we call this the leverage income, because you have a lot of people making a lot of little things in a cumulative amount of time. So when you help yourself protect 4 families a month, and then you also, with the help of our team and the help of the company, you also help 25 team members do the exact same thing. Not you teaching them, but myself and the company helping them do that. You are going to be able to earn $120,000 per year by simply helping 25 teammates be able to also do 4 sales, and you're going to make a commission because you get an override, just like an insurance agent, just like an insurance broker or a real estate agent broker. And the overrides, the leverage income is incredible. Now, the incentive trips, Becky is getting ready to qualify for the Bahamas. I just qualified for the Punta Cana, where I'm going, and it's an all expenses paid vacation for 2 people, and is one of the most lucrative ones that I have seen. And yes, we do have pay training, and everything that you need to be successful, this company gives you now. What do you need to get started? $99 gets you to become an associate so that you can start working in the compensation. And then for $24.95, you get to have an app where you can actually run your whole business from your phone, and that's $24.95 a month, but the first month is free. To become an associate, the going out the door price is $183, because we recommend that you get your legal plan, and we recommend that you get your ID Shield plan, and then the $99 is a one-time ever. Now, it depends on whether you're an individual like myself. I'm an individual, no family, no kids or anything like that. So for me, the $29 program made sense. For someone that is a homeowner, that they have kids, a lot of people come in with the $49 program. So the membership is really according to each member and according to the needs of each person. But for you to get started with Becky, is $99 one time ever to become an associate. And then you just choose the membership that you want for you and your family. And then if you decide that you want to get started with us, all you have to do is let us know here in the comments, and then Becky is going to give you her link for you to get started. But this is another thing that I want to give you before we close this, that this company is only at 3% penetration. Life insurance, auto insurance, and health insurance is already through full penetration, but still people are becoming millionaires and high income earners with something that is already fully established. We only have a 3% penetration, and you get to get started with the best, most fastest growing team in the entire company. Now, another thing that I want to leave you with is that when people have Legal Shield, we feel empowered. Like we felt like that way, Becky and I, when we were out of town, and a company put a boot on our rental car, and we were not going to be able to drive. And we're like, that's okay. We have Legal Shield. Our attorney will handle that. So you feel empowered, you feel smart, you feel protected, you feel secure, you feel posture, you feel peace of mind, you feel powerful, you feel rich, you feel privileged, you feel confident, and you feel heard. But when you don't have Legal Shield, when people go off and they think, oh, I can do without it, They feel defenseless. They feel unsure. They feel vulnerable. They feel insecure. They feel scared. They feel taken advantage of. They feel weak. They feel poor. They feel disadvantaged. They feel timid. They feel discriminated against. And most of all, they feel that they are without a voice. So now you just have three choices. You can become a member, you can become an associate, and you can get trained and get paid. So the question is, what would you like to do today? So with that, thank you so much for letting me be of service and helping me help Becky launch her business. And Becky, I'm going to go ahead and give it right back to you.
All right, gracias, Maria. You guys, I never get sick of hearing it. And I know, maybe like for some of you, you're not looking for a business, or maybe you never even thought about having legal protection as something that you would really need. But when I hear it every single time, it just reminds me, how many situations I've been. I can think of so many where I could have had that help. And how much more simpler and more energy could we save in life if you could literally just have a button when you have a problem, boom. At the conference, they said that right now on record, you can have an attorney on your phone in 90 seconds in a case of emergency. So that's the beautiful thing about this. And then again, all the other benefits. But I appreciate you guys taking the time just to come here. This is just the beginning for me. And I'm just excited to hear how this can be benefiting you or any of your loved ones. And so thank you again for taking the time to tune
Thank you, everybody. And if anybody
in.
has any questions, please feel free to reach out to Becky because I didn't see any. Becky, I didn't see any questions, right?
No, I
Okay,
didn't
perfect.
see. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Rosie.
Rosie.
Thank you, Alicia, and thank
Yeah.
you,
Thank you,
Irene.
Eddie.
Irene.
And
Okay.
Elena, if
Bye,
she's here.
bye, everybody. God bless you. Have a great night.